All right, Algebra 2, we are going to finish your Chapter 3 game plan. All right, so I've got a few things to then send to you. I believe I have sent to you already it was actually in my classroom, and you're to grab it on one of those desks in the first row. I think it was the third desk, and it is not that. It is not that. You are going to be emailed this though, and we're going to start that next Wednesday. So you're going to receive that email if you have not already, and you're going to print this at school, print to the IMC, or print at home. So you guys print at home when you've been gone. That is good. Here it is. You should have this as the Algebra 2 Mega Chapter 3 Part 1 a test review. Have that. I probably take a test on November the 2nd, I would imagine, or the 3rd. I might give you a few days. Maybe it's the 5th. All right, since you had to learn all of this via notes, it might give you some time. All right, so have that ready. We're going to start that on Monday. We're going to start this on Monday the 25th. All right, so we are finishing the game plan, though. I've done all the questions with you. I understand learning something via video is not the best way, but sure beats just finger painting while I'm gone. All right, and getting way behind. When are you going to do that? So we talked about the 3x3 systems yesterday. Those are the hardest ones. Your goal is to get this 3x3 down into some 2x2, and then you can solve those. Again, solving these makes the 2x2s, which will be about 70% of your test, much easier. All right. So I'm going to say bye-bye Z because the Z's match up so nicely. If I take equation 1 and equation 2, if I add them together, the Z's will cancel. So I rewrote equation 1 and 2 over here, and that's probably the best thing to do while we're getting going. 5x plus 2x is 7x. 4y plus negative 2y is 2y. 1 plus 1 is 2. Then I have equation 1 and equation 3. I'm going to add them together. 5x plus a negative x is 4x. 4y plus a negative y is 3y. 1 plus 2 is 3. So now I have, again, my whole goal is to eliminate z in two different equations. Now I have equation 4 and 5, which I'm going to put together over here. Equation 4 and 5, and I'm going to ask myself, all right, what can I eliminate? If I triple this first equation and double the second equation, then the y's match up perfectly. The 6 and the 6 will cancel through subtraction. I have the same sign, so I subtract. How do I get 6 and 6 to be 0? Subtraction. I get 13x is equal to 0. X is 0. All right. So I'm going to go to equation 5 and plug 0 in for x. 3y is equal to 3y is equal to 1. All right, so I got 0, 1. And then I need to solve for z, so I used equation 2. 2 times x minus 2 times y plus z is equal to 1. And I get z to be 3, 0, 1, 3. So this page is pretty nice. I would expect 7 and 8. Those are the ones I would expect to see on the test. One's just like it. All right, so number 8 here. What am I going to get rid of? I said bye-bye x. If I double that and double that, then all the x's are either 2 or negative 2. So I doubled equation 1 and I double equation 3, and here they are, and the x's line up really nicely. So I'm going to put equation 1 and 3 together. We're going to pause this so you can copy that down. But if I add equation 1 and 3 together, the x's go bye-bye. 4 plus a negative 6 is a negative 2y. 2 plus 6 is 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. That's equation 4. Then I have equation 2. I'm going to add them together. It's a negative 3y. 2 and 6 is 8. 0 and 2 is 2. All right, so now I have equation 4 and 5. And look at that. These z's are exactly the same, so I can subtract right away. Negative 2 minus a negative 3 is a positive 1. 4 minus 2 is 2. Y is 2. I'm going to plug 2 in for y and solve for z. Z is 1. Also, hey, note this, like over here, if I were to just subtract, notice if I do 1 minus 2, the x's are the same and the z's are the same. So if I do equation 1 minus 2, I get 4 minus 3, which is a single y. 2 minus 0 is 2. I get y is 2 right away, but I've got to put 1 and 2, or 1 and 3, or 2 and 3 together, because I need to figure out what z is. All right, 2 different ways to get y is 2. And then I used equation 1. I want to solve for x. I used equation 1. X plus 2 times y plus z is equal to 1. X is a negative 4. All right, that's my ordered triple, negative 4, 2, 1. And these will get easier when we do some together in class. And yeah, we'll do some more in class. They will get easier. All right, so then I said in the video yesterday, we talked about number 1. That was the first one we did yesterday. And I said, all right, I'll do this one on Thursday. So here we are. What are we going to say bye-bye to? Definitely not the x's. The y's aren't great. If I just multiply the first equation by 2, then the z's match up really well. So I doubled the first equation, and that is what I'm left with. Again, pause that, write that down. Those are my 3 equations, and I'm going to say bye-bye z. Then I'm going to take equation 1 and 2, and I'm going to add it together. 5x plus 6y is equal to 26. I'm going to take equation 2 and 3 and add it together. 16x plus 10y, the z's are bye-bye, is equal to 28. All right, what do I want to get rid of? I think I chose, you can multiply that by 16 and that by 5 and get rid of the x's. Lowest common denominator, the lowest common multiple of 10 and 6 is 30. So I multiply this one by 3 and that one by 5, and then the y's are the same. So multiply that equation 5 by 3, multiply equation 4 by 5. Now the y's match up perfectly. If I subtract both equations, I get x to be negative 2 eventually. That's a pleasant answer. I'm going to go back to the original number 4. I'm going to plug negative 2 in for x, and I get a y value of 6. I have x, I have y. I need to figure out what z is, and I use the original equation 1, even though z is negative. I use the original equation 1. 2 times x plus y minus c is equal to 5, and z is a negative 3. There's my solution. All right, I think we have 2 more of the 3x3s. You have 1 or 2 3x3s on your test. All right, again, pause this whenever you need to. I'm about to move on. We have done that. All right, one of these, and it's the next one. I do apologize about number 1. It has been... So these are the last 2, and then we're going to that last ACT page. All right, so you get really nice answers. Well, you get nice answers. You always get some relatively pleasant answers, but goodness. Numbers we're working with are big here, so sorry. Best thing to say bye-bye to is truthfully x. If you multiply the second equation by 6 and the third equation by 4, then the x's are either 12 or negative 12. So pause it here. That's what we got. Holy cow. Negative 84z, 36c. That seems excessive, and it is. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add equation 1 and 2 together. Then I'm going to add equation 1 and 3 together, and my x's will cancel. So take equation 1 and add it to equation 2. The x's go bye-bye. 7 and 6 in addition give me 13y. 5 plus a negative 84 is a negative 79. 16 plus a negative 54 is a negative 38. Take equation 1 and 3 and add them together. 7 plus negative 8 is a negative 1. 5 plus 36 is 41 equals 16 plus a negative 48 is a negative 32. Okay, I definitely don't want to get rid of the z's and multiply that by 41 and that by 79. If I simply take equation 5 and multiply it by 13, I'll have a negative 13y, and a positive 13y. I'll add them together and bye-bye y. So I multiplied equation 5 by 13, and I just wrote equation 4 below, but I ran out of room. Because if you multiply 41 by 13 and negative 32 by 13, you get some big numbers. All right, that is a 533z equals a negative 416. I add them together. I get 454z. Look at that, equals a negative 454. All that for a pleasant z is negative 1. And then I used equation 5. I plugged negative 1 in for z right there. And I get y is a negative 9. And lastly, I went back to the original equation 1. Plug negative 9 in for y, negative 1 in for z. That's a negative 68. Add 68 to both sides. X is 7. I won't give you one that unpleasant. If we can handle that, we can handle them all, I think. All right, this should be the last 3 by 3. So I'm going to say bye-bye x because I'm going to double the first. Now the z's, you could also say bye-bye z. So if you multiply that by 2 and that by 2, then the z's match up. But I've written in pen and I said bye-bye x, and that's what we're doing. So equation 1 has been doubled. Equation 3 has been doubled. Now my x's are all 2 or negative 2. So I took equation 2 and 3 first. I added them together. This plus this is a negative 3y. This plus this is a positive 3z. This plus this is 12. I could divide everything by 3 if I wanted to, but I'll wait. Then I added 1 and 3 together. X's cancel. This and this gives you negative 4y. This and this gives you 6z. This and this gives you 26. So that is what I had. So then I look, I can make this 3z into 6z if I double equation 4. And that's what I did. I put it under 5. The order doesn't matter. The z's are the exact same sign. 6 and 6 gives you 0 if I subtract. So I'm subtracting. All right. Then I get 2y is equal to 2. Y is 1. Y is 1. So then I plug 1 in for y right there. The original equation 4. And I solve for z, and I get z is 5. Notice all those pleasant answers I get all the time. Then I have, go back to the original equation 1. X minus 3y plus 5, which is z, is equal to 6. 415. All right. Here we are, folks, and this is gonna finish it. This is the ACT page. There's a 27 at the bottom. I don't know if I've given you answers. I don't think I have. The ACT is good to practice on your own. It can get you some sweet scholarship money. What's the least common denominator for adding the fractions? 4/15, 1/12, and 3/8. So here's what I would do. 40 divided by 15, that's a decimal. So 15 is not a factor. 40. 120 divided by 15 is 8. 120 divided by 12 is 10. 120 divided by 8 is 15. That's the smallest one of the remaining choices. That has to be the lowest common denominator. Number 8, first off, when you do 2 times 3, you get 6, so it can't be F or J. Then what do? Do you add or multiply the fractions? I have 4 x's, x times x times x times x. I think that was 4. And then I have 5 of them. That's 9 x's. You add the exponents. We're going to talk about that later in chapter 7. Y to the first times y to the 8th is y to the 9th. So I can see some students picking G. That's y to the first times y to the 8th. You have 9 y's as well. All right, take a look at 9. So all that work, I need to see anything I've written down, you write as well. It costs $8 for an adult ticket to a reggae concert and $S for a student ticket. The difference between the cost is $36. Now, first off, this is the only thing that has to be C. That's the only one that has a difference, which is subtraction. And why do I have absolute value there? Well, if an adult ticket is like $4 and a student ticket is $3, it's actually going to cost more for the student ticket, like total price, 54 versus 48. That's $6. All right, so I mean they can be really close. they can be 50 cents off. More likely, the adult ticket is at a, big hike up from the student ticket, but it could be really close. So that if I did 12A minus 18S, I'd get a negative number. So that's why I need absolute value. All right, number 10, if x is greater than 1, a lot of these questions, I just choose a number for x to be, whether it's 2, 3, 4, I let x be 3. And here's what I did. Plug 3 in. What's the square root of 3? 1.73. 2 times 3 is 6. What's the square root of 6? Obviously bigger. 3 times 3 is 9. What's the square root of 9? What is 3? 3 times the square root of 3 is 5.2. 3 times 3 is 9. What's the smallest number? It's that one. All right? So obviously it's got to be f because this is g and h are already bigger than f. And j is obviously bigger than f because it's the same thing as f. Then multiplied by 3, then hopefully you can see that, that's bigger. So you can use a little deductive reasoning there to pick f, but plugging in a number is really helpful there. Do what I did there, please. Charles defined a new operation. I start Charles on ordered pairs of integers as follows. AB, diamond, CD is equal to that. All right, so that's A, that's B, that's C, that's D. So I have to do A times C. 2 times 3 plus B times D over A times B minus C times D. I get a negative 1. 10 over negative 10, a negative 1. So again, the ACT math test is the only test that goes from easier questions to harder ones. So these should still all be pretty easy. In the figure below, BAC is 30 degrees. That is A is the vertex, right there. 30 degrees. ABC is 110. So first off, a triangle has 180 degrees. I can do 180 minus the sum of those two. That's 40. Because I want to know what is ACD. I do 180 because it makes a straight line. 180 minus 40, it's 180 degrees. Also from geometry, this is an exterior angle. The exterior angle is equal to the sum of those two remote interior angles. So that's another way to get 140. We'll go straight from geometry. All right, almost done here in the isosceles right triangle. Below isosceles means these two are both 10. So if you know from geometry, another one, this is a 45, 45 at 90 triangle. Side, side, side root 2, 10, 10, 10 root 2. You could be done. If not, do the Pythagorean theorem. 10 squared plus 10 squared is equal to c squared, or the hypotenuse squared. That's 100 and 100, 200. 200 is equal to the hypotenuse squared, or c squared. You got to take the square root of 200. Well, you can type in the square root of 200. It's 14 point something. So no. Hopefully we know that the square root of 20 is not the square root of 200. So honestly, process of elimination there has got to give you 10 root 2. We're going to do this later in the second semester. How do I break up 200? What goes into 200? 102. What's 100? 10 and 10. So you break out the pair. So that's 10 root 2. That's another way to get root 200. And 14, folks, I think my toddler's got a fighting chance at this one. In a bag of 400 jelly beans, 25% are red. If you pick one randomly, what's the probability that you're not going to pick a red one? Well, a quarter of them are red, so 3/4 of them can't be red. Yes, it's that easy. All right, folks, so that game plan is done. Make sure you have the test review ready for Monday and Tuesday. We'll take 2 days for that. On Wednesday, I will start with you the matrix, and we'll go from there. All right, folks. Also, this game plan, you'll definitely hand it in to me in person. In person, because I did it all with you. I'll give you more help on the test review. Obviously, we'll take our time getting ready for that. But on Monday the 1st, you'll be handing in the game plan to me. All right, this is Yak Math Videos signing out.